Welcome to Homeschool Today. I'm Andrea Johns, and today we are going to take a look at reasons to homeschool.
Life is crazy, it's a wild. Won't you stay with me for a while? Let me show you your superpower. Let's get to it, you know your own school teacher.
Welcome to Homeschool Today. I'm Andrea Johns, and today we are going to take a look at reasons to homeschool. Now, I know that there are actually as many reasons to homeschool as there are homeschool families. But for the purpose of today's episode, we will be referencing a government survey that asked the same question: why do families choose to homeschool? Every 4 years, the National Center for Education Statistics, the NCES, conducts its National Household Education Survey, the NHES. This survey provides the most comprehensive data that we have for parents' motivations for homeschooling. Data about homeschooled children is collected in the NHES's Parent and Family Involvement in Education Survey, known as the PFI. The PFI survey collects data about students who are enrolled in kindergarten through grade 12 or are homeschooled for the equivalent grades. For homeschool students, the survey asks questions related to students' homeschooling experiences, the sources of their curriculum, and the reasons for homeschooling. The latest survey was taken in 2016, with a new survey slated to be taken in 2020. If there are any major changes noted in the survey, we will post an update video with those details. When looking at the reasons these families cited for homeschooling, there were 4 main categories into which these reasons were classified. The first of these 4 categories included social reasons. The family wanted to make a change from a negative school environment of some type. This included both social pressures and the school's physical environment that could negatively impact students. The second category was academic reasons. The parents felt that they could give their children a higher quality of education at home, one that was better than they would receive in a traditional school. The third category is titled religious reasons. The parents wanted to teach moral and/or religious instruction to their children. The last category was titled necessity and other reasons. Parents were homeschooling because they had no other option. This was for reasons like a child's illness, or to care for a sick or dying family member, a family relocation to another state or country, or to support a learning disabled child or even a gifted child. The first category were things related to social issues or problems as a reason for homeschool. In the 2016 survey, the most common reason parents gave for homeschooling was a concern about the environment of the schools. About 80% of homeschool respondents listed reasons for homeschooling that fell into this category. Some of the specific reasons listed included things like there were fewer opportunities for kids to be bullied, and that children could be sheltered to a greater degree from some of the unfortunate influences that were affecting kids until they were older and better able to handle them. Things like drugs, sex, and weapons that have invaded our schools in recent years could be kept away from the children. In schools where budget issues exist, there's often a lack of resources to use in the classroom. They said this didn't happen in home education. Free resources like the library provide a world of options in choosing resources. Another common reason cited was that school wasn't about learning anymore. Pressure to score well on standardized tests had removed true learning from the classroom, while creating social pressures on students, teachers, and parents for children to perform well on that test. Related to that last item, they said anxiety over test scores is completely eliminated in a homeschool environment. Some children in schools were experiencing anxiety attacks pre-testing and depression after the test scores came back. Again, all of that completely eliminated when homeschooling. They also said that kids could freely ask questions and get genuine answers without fear of being ridiculed by other students or even worse, by teachers. They said that depression that plagues so many young people because they don't feel like they are smart enough or pretty enough or good enough at sports, or most commonly that they're just not popular enough, is greatly diminished when children are removed from traditional school environments. They also said that unhealthy physical environments were of great concern to the parents. The Washington Post published an article in 2016 citing deplorable conditions in several of the Detroit public schools. Things like mold in the schools, exposed wires hanging down from missing ceiling tiles, watermarks from leaks in the ceilings, and kids sitting in freezing classrooms in the morning with coats on and stripping off layers of clothes because of stifling heat in the afternoon were a daily reality for many students. Related to this were overcrowded in classrooms just simply didn't facilitate learning. In homeschools, the student-to-teacher ratio is amazingly low. These were the most common subcategories of reasons to homeschool that fell under social reasons on the survey. The next category of reasons reported on the survey were parents choosing to homeschool for academic reasons. Almost 2/3 of parents said one of their main reasons for homeschooling related to dissatisfaction with academic instruction in their public schools. Some of the items parents listed included the ideas that kids could learn at their own pace and that there were no cookie-cutter schedules that all students had to follow, which allowed for better learning. Homeschooling their children allowed those who required more time to complete their work to have that time. It also accounted for gifted children who completed work much more quickly than the average student and who struggled with boredom in the classroom. At home, this type of student could fly through the work at their own pace and move on. Parents said that when kids are done with their work for the day, there's no extra busy work or homework when homeschooling. This gives children more time to pursue extracurricular activities that they may not have had time to enjoy before because of large amounts of homework that they would have each night while they were in traditional schools. One benefit listed on the survey were that children learned life skills, things like cooking, cleaning, budgeting, caring for elderly or sick family, helping with younger siblings, and even raising animals were all important parts of education, and this could be done at home. Parents mentioned that at-home kids could take frequent breaks if they needed to. Our youngest daughter simply couldn't sit still when she was 5 or 6 years old. Homeschooling allowed us to school standing up or to take frequent 15-minute breaks to help her make learning easier when she was at that age. Some parents said they were homeschooling so their children wouldn't be left behind because they just couldn't keep up with a regular class. Homeschooled kids never fall through the cracks. Also, the ability to travel during the off-season is great. Lower costs allow for unique homeschool learning opportunities. Families can go to museums during the school week when there's no crowds, allowing for amazing learning opportunities. The next category of reasons reported on the survey were parents choosing to homeschool for religious or moral reasons. As with academic reasons, almost 2/3 of parents said one of their main reasons for homeschooling related to being able to teach moral character and or religion freely to their children. Some of the items that parents listed in this area included things like parents were free to teach religious education as part of their day when public schools were not, and curriculum could be chosen to support those family values. Character training could be a part of every day. When parents saw faults or vices that needed to be worked on in their children, they could work to correct them on that day-to-day basis, so behavior problems were able to be dealt with quickly and consistently while they are at home. Also, they said that serving could be a part of the school day. When a relative, neighbor, friend, or church member needed a meal or a ride or other support, think of things like shoveling snow for an elderly person or running an errand for a new mom. Those things could be done as needed. The last category of reasons reported on the survey were parents choosing to homeschool out of necessity or for other reasons that didn't fall under social, academic, or religious reasons. Parents reporting one of the main reasons for homeschooling in this category was much lower than the other 3 categories. Only 14% said that they were homeschooling because of ongoing physical or mental health issues. 20% said that they had special need children at home, and 4% said that homeschooling was a temporary solution for their family, and that the children would return to a public school in the near future. Some of the items parents listed in this area included that the student had a long illness, but that they expected to return to a traditional school in the future. The student had committed to sports, music, or art at a level that required more dedication than traditionally spent in that activity because of the heavy training and travel. Also, they said maybe the student had moved to another country and didn't speak the language. This is actually how we began our homeschooling journey 17 years ago. We moved to Puerto Rico for my husband's job. Our elementary-age daughter didn't speak Spanish. And in order for us to put her into a well-rated English-speaking school, she was going to have to ride a bus for 1 to 1.5 hours each way every single day. we decided that this was just too much time away from us, and thus we began our homeschool journey. Another reason this section was that the student had special needs that simply could be better addressed at home. Well, there you have it. These are the most commonly mentioned reasons for homeschooling on the survey. They may or may not match up with what your reason is. Although I suspect that one or more of these items resonated with you as one of the reasons you probably chose to homeschool. I think the big takeaway from this whole thing is that homeschooling offers us the freedom to keep our kids in a safe, non-threatening environment where they are free to learn at their own pace and in their own way without fear of failure or ridicule. Now, doesn't that sound like a great place to be? As always, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button at the bottom of the screen and the subscribe and bell so you will be among the first to know as new videos are released. Also, don't forget that the link to the survey and newspaper article I referenced in this video appear below, just in case you want to read them to get more detail than this video had time to address. Until next time, happy homeschooling.